has come and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light, and the moon is the only light, and the moon is the only light we will see.
When the night
has come, night has come, and the land is dark. When the night
and the land is dark,
night has come, and the land
and the moon
is the only
light we'll see.
we will see.
No, I won't
Be afraid.
be afraid. No, I won't be afraid.
No, I won't be afraid.
Just as long
Just as long
as you stand by me.
just as long as you stand.
So darling, darling, stand by me.
Oh, won't you stay?
Stand by me.
Just as long
Stand by me.
as you stand
Stand by me.
by me.
Just as long as you stand by me.
If the sky
That we look
that we look upon
that we look upon should tumble and fall.
should tumble and fall, all the mountains should crumble.
So some 19 more minutes to hit 8 o'clock right here on Love 99.5. Love in the Morning is airborne. We are live on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM. We are also live on radio on Love 99.5 FM as well. Now my guests are already seated and we're going to have a beautiful conversation. Bishop Dr. Victor Osei of the Family Chapel International is right here with me.
You can call me Victor.
No, I'm calling Victor. There's a hard-earned reputation I need to respect. Bishop. And I was there, when Bishop Duncan Williams was there.
The consecration.
Yeah, the consecration. I was there. It was a beautiful event. It was a beautiful event.
Amen.
And so glad to have Bishop Dr. Victor Osei with us in the studios of Love 99.5 for our conversation this morning. Also, I have my very good friend, Daniel Fojo. He's a clinical psychologist, and he's a lecturer at the Garden City University College and also practices at the Confanochi Teaching Hospital. He's also right here with us. Danny, good morning.
Good morning, David.
You good?
I'm doing good.
All right, so in case you're wondering why the two are here with us now, why are you hiding it? Bishop has already seen it.
Things are happening here,
So the Ghana Education Service in 2017, officially banned all forms of corporal punishment of children in schools in Ghana as part of efforts aimed at promoting a safe and protective learning environment for children. All right, that's what they did in 2017. Then came 2019, where the GS directed in 2019, that's January 2019, that a positive toolkit which gives alternatives to corporal punishment be adopted by all teachers. Now, the Director General of Guidance and Counseling at the time, her name is Ivy Kumi. She urged parents, and I'm quoting her words, she urged parents to take on teachers who caned their children as same amounts to an assault on the children. Now, many people agree with this directive, where we're saying that corporal punishment should be abolished or is banned from our schools. Many people agree with this directive or support the directive. But interestingly, others also believe that, it should not be banned. All right? To them, they think that the lack of corporal punishment has led to fallen standards and discipline as well as morals in the youth of today. Listen, we know what some students in some schools do. Yeah? They are brave, bold enough to challenge authority. Look the teacher in the face, look the headmaster in the face and tell him or her the peace of mind. We also know that some of the youth of today, Leo, we are told, is a champion leaks. He has leaks for almost every video of a team. Listen, crazy things are happening out there. But again, there are some very good students out there, very good children out there, very good teenagers out there. So the conversation this morning is, where do you stand on corporal punishment? Are you for the ban of it or you are against the ban of it? Where do you stand on this conversation? Our WhatsApp number is 055-1111-995. That's our WhatsApp number. Again, it's 055-1111-995. Tell us whether you are for or against it and why. Now, as I said, we're also live on Facebook right now on LUV 99.5 FM. You can join us on Facebook with your comments as well. Meanwhile, for the laundry drop-off or the grocery pickup or even the lunch sit-down or the tank fill-up, when asked cash or card, it's always card for me. That's me. I switched from cash to card, and for all my payments I use MasterCard. You can do same, and trust me, it's going to go well for you. MasterCard is the way to go. I don't know whether you like to eat from KFC, but you've decided not to eat again because you think it's expensive. It's not. Listen, KFC has dropped the price, so you don't have to drop your favorite meal. Enjoy the delicious Streetwise 2 for only 39 Ghana cedis at your nearest KFC restaurant. Limited time, unlimited goodness. KFC, it's finger licking good. Now I've got some great news from CBG to share. Now, do you have cash reserves? Do you have cash reserves or investments and require security of your investments? Then CBG custody account is your best bet. With a minimum of 10,000 Ghana cedis in cash or in investments, individuals, pension funds, mutual funds, companies with reserve funds, NGOs, international funds, and investment firms can open a custody account with CBG. Enjoy the best of experience with our state-of-the-art technology and digital offerings, robust control and secure systems, swift settlement and transaction processing protocols, no transaction costs, unbeatable custody fees, and excellent customer services. Don't put your money under your bed or in your bedroom for a house girl to come and take some. No. Unless, of course, maybe you have so much to spare.
That's shade.
Visit any of CBG's 140
Serious
branches
shade.
nationwide to open your custody account. For further inquiries, you can call 0302 216 000 or send an email to talktous@cbg.com.gh, or you can visit any of our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Terms and conditions apply. CBG, listen, we stand with you. Have you eaten an egg already? Listen, eggs have the nutrient, choline in the yolk, which is good for baby brain development during pregnancy, breastfeeding through to early childhood. Pass this on to all the pregnant and breastfeeding women out there. Remember to eat an egg a day. Eat an egg today. Follow the campaign on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Extra O. And like the saying goes, and I've said it before, I'm saying it again, an egg a day saves you from the doctor. So Bishop Dr. Victor is with me.
Yes, sir.
And Daniel Fojo, a psychologist, is also with me. Our conversation is on corporal punishment. Now, we have heard that the GS says, well, no student, no pupil should be caned anymore. And some people are of the view that the fallen standards of morals and discipline and all that is as a result of this. What's your take on this? Are you for corporal punishment or against corporal punishment? 0551111995 is our WhatsApp number. Share your thoughts with us. So, Danny, to start off, when we talk about corporal punishment, what's your understanding of it? What is corporal punishment?
So, corporal punishment is any form of punitive action that normally, in one way or the other, inflicts some form of pain or some form of injury to the individual, with the primary aim of correcting the person from engaging in a particular undesirable behavior.
Okay.
So that in itself, the idea is to remove the person or block the person from engaging in a particular undesirable behavior. And that's the main reason why it is punishment,
Okay.
right? But the addition to it is the infliction of an
Pain.
unwanted kind of.
So it's not just about using the cane on the child,
No,
as a corporal.
no.
Because per the GS, it says corporal punishment such as caning, weeding, kneeling, and holding blocks raised and standing for long hours have been the forms of punishment in schools in Ghana. For infractions such as lateness, truancy, unpaid levies and fees, and not doing homework, among others. So it's not just about using the cane.
Yes.
Bishop,
Yeah.
what do you make of corporal punishment?
There's something happening all over the world my good Ghanaians and psychologists don't understand.
Okay.
There are a lot of the things that are going on have been transferred from European and American studies. That is the first thing. Now, I want to know what Ghanaian psychologist has gone around making a careful study of the impact, I refuse to use the word corporal punishment, of discipline. The impact of discipline. That is through reasonable caning, and my word is reasonable caning, not to injure, that it has had negative effects upon the children. And then let's compare when we were in school and we were given 6 lashes, 3 lashes here, which didn't cause us to bleed or didn't destroy our physical bodies, but caused us to be in line.
What about the mental?
No, let me finish.
But what about the mental effects?
I haven't even finished. So you are trying to add mental. So when you do that, what you are trying to tell me is that you don't support what you call corporal punishment.
No, it's not about me supporting. I'm the
No. So I said today I came. Now listen. It did not destroy us. That is the reality of the situation. It is like America taking the Bible out of schools. Look at how many people are dying. They'll come out with their studies. They will write books, and honorable people like him will read the books and then say, yeah, I'm doing psychology. And therefore, but psychology should be within the context of nations and countries, so that you study the psyche of the people. It will surprise you to know that psychology started as a result of the fact that people wanted to know more about the cosmos. They wanted to know more about dreams and people's visions. Yeah, thank you. That is how psychology started, and gradually it whittled down to other things and other departments of psychology. Now, the issue is, look at the way we were brought up. Our fathers were brought up. Are we better off now than our fathers were? There was a measure of discipline. Look, I was caned throughout my life by my father twice. It made me a better person. Now it is the way people use the cane. And basically in school, it is not holding blocks. It's so funny the way sometimes GS writes things. This holding blocks and this kneeling down thing.
And reading and
the reading, and then the caning is the teachers, and then the prefects. But the holding blocks and things is the students in there. You've not been to a secondary school. The homeroom, that is it. But teachers don't get up and say, come on, you hold a block. That would be insensitive.
But reading and kneeling, teachers can ask you to. But
yes,
Bishop, indulge me.
So I'm coming to, let me finish. So I believe that a measure of discipline is important, and the discipline doesn't mean go and write, I will not do this again. I will not do that. Do you know that psychologically can impact the thought processes of the child more than 6 lashes?
Let me ask this question then. And my next question to you is, when
I will not do this again. Then this man keeps repeating.
Bishop, you mentioned you mentioned the reasonableness.
Yes.
That we should do it in a reasonable manner. Isn't that a relative statement to make?
Psychology is relative. Psychology is reasonable. Psychology is relative.
In fact, what Bishop is saying, right? And when he was defining it, he was using reasonable, because it is relative, and that is the reason.
Psychology is relative. It's relative.
My question to you is, let him answer that question and come to you.
Okay.
Bishop, you're saying we should do it in a reasonable manner. How do we measure the reasonableness of it?
One, the person doesn't get injured. That is the primary thing.
Are you not inflicting pain? So if the pain is not there, is it not?
When you do exercise, don't you pain your muscles? What are you talking about?
So what about the mental?
So discipline a child by saying, I will not do this again. I will not do this again 2,000 times, wasting time. Not only wasting time, but the child's mental, they say, oh, the classroom cry, I will not do. Or just shakes him about, oh, Charlie, I'm just 6 years old. Then we move on. When the classes go on, then I'll concentrate.
So you mentioned that throughout your life with your dad, you received 2 lashes.
Yes, I did.
2 different occasions.
I wasn't injured. I learned a lesson. And I never went back to it.
And you think we cannot do same for somebody not to go back to a
without using the
cane?
So what are you going to do? Tell me. And let me answer you.
No, I'll answer you. Before you go, why are you?
I know exactly what you are going to say, and I have my answer.
Daniel, tell me, why are you so?
Because it's just psychology of education.
So punishment.
You see, corporal punishment and its application within our education system is a problem. All of these things that Bishop is talking about, it is true. But look at the example that he gave. If a child does something wrong in school, and you give the child 6 lashes, and they get back to their colleagues, and their colleagues are saying, oh, Charlie, what do you say? What is the communication in that child's psyche?
I will not do it again for
lashes.
Really? Yes.
That's one of the answers I can do.
Yes, we cannot go back and say, hey, we'll do it again. Sometimes people say, Charlie, you've received a badge of honor. Why you 6 was school? It's a badge of honor.
Yes. And you see,
because of that.
what is wrong with
but the interpretation of it is like a reinforcement of that behavior that was wrong.
Psychological language reinforcement.
Oh, you see, okay. Let me come down to.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I want people to understand you.
That is true. It is a reinforcement of that behavior that was wrong, because what that communicates to the other kids is that, okay, now some other kids could even say that, oh, this guy is really popular because he always goes and take canes.
6 lashes, yeah.
And then, okay, then if I want to be popular, I also do the same.
That is not true. I've been to school. You've been to school. I went to secondary school. I didn't go to JSS and SHS. I went to school. Those of us who were caned, 98% never went back to those things.
Bishop,
there are some people whose lives are definitely out.
Bishop,
Let me ask another question. Bishop, indulge me. So, Danny, let me ask this question. Why do we punish people when they do wrong?
you see, we do punish people when they do wrong.
Why?
Right? To correct the behavior, to detest them from getting back to that behavior.
That is why we punish people.
That is how we do it.
That is why we punish people.
That is why we do it.
Okay, so my next question then is this. When people are caned, does it correct a wrong they did? Is it a form of punishment? Does it correct a wrong they did?
The goal of the caning is to correct the wrong they did.
Does it do that?
But hold on.
No.
But hold on.
Answer the question.
Yes.
Does it do that?
Listen.
Does it
the
do that?
goal of it? No.
It does not correct.
It doesn't.
It doesn't correct the
It
wrong?
doesn't.
It does not.
Let me explain it.
Yeah, please do.
Now, the goal of the application of the caning is to correct the behavior. But you see, punishment, especially in itself, what we call the positive punishment, which is the corporal part of the corporal punishment we are talking about. The goal of it is to correct the behavior. But what it does is that it is so unpredictable. The unpredictability of it is so high that a person,
Yes, we get you water.
the person can actually engage in some counterproductive behavior, and it can even worsen the original behavior that the person exhibited.
Have you done a study?
Yes.
My point.
Yes.
Most of the studies
Bishop.
people do are what people are
No,
telling you.
but Bishop.
When you also mentioned the 98% are corrected when they're
Because I was in school.
No, was it based on research as well?
It's based on our mates and the way they behaved within my 7 years in Adsadal College.
I hear you. But
Unfortunately, we came into the news for bad things. But within the 7 years I was in high school.
So you go.
Please give me water. Look, within the 7 years I was in Adsadal College, most of us, look, we even made sure that our shirts were always tucked in, because if your shirt was not tucked in, even your jersey and the pants, it had to be tucked in. That is the kind of discipline. If it was not, you are sure that a master will give you some one or two stripes. Go and put in your shirt.
But Bishop, indulge me. I want to hear
you were
something.
correct.
So you were saying. So I said, Daniel, indulge me. I asked an earlier question.
Yes.
Why do we punish people? You gave me reasons why people are punished.
Yes.
That's number one.
Yes.
I asked whether caning is a form of
You
punishment.
can't answer.
It
If he
is.
answers-
It is.
It
Has
is.
it corrected people from a wrong they did?
It is assumed to have corrected them.
No,
but
that's
you see,
it.
No, it doesn't.
Bishop here tells you that his father on 2 different occasions lashed him. He corrected a wrong behavior that he was doing. So he did a
see?
correction.
And
You
in
see-
school, many of us were corrected.
You
by
see,
that.
all the examples Bishop will give, we can go into it and see the processes and how
Did not affect you
eventually.
psychologically. Did it?
Don't you agree with him when Bishop
He's
for
a
example,
better
says,
person.
he says the reasonableness of it?
Yes.
I mean, we know people go overboard. They go way
Yes.
beyond.
That is where the problem lies.
You know,
It's not in caning or kneeling down.
The regulations of GES, and they did not just come up and just say corporal punishment is totally out. As part of the regulations, they even said that if you want to apply it, you have to go through a certain process. Now,
Nowadays, you have to go and write something and then
And get a supervisor,
now,
the headmaster to supervise the caning.
do you know how
Because
that?
people go overboard.
Yes,
People
But
did
see,
not go overboard in my 7 years in Adsadal College.
Okay.
Or in my time at Association International School, AIS, at airport. Teachers never went overboard.
Bishop,
Bishop,
let me
let me
use your own example. Let me use your own example, your own experiences, right?
Feel free.
When your daddy caned you, those 2 occasions,
6 pay.
those 6 canes, did your daddy just cane you and leave you there, and then
Teachers don't cane and leave. Woman and father. You went before discipline. The headmaster, a teacher, he said, you did this, you did this.
He's explained to you.
You were caught smoking weed. Now, I could either send you for suspension, and I do 6. Nako, mechiwa, Next time I'll send you to the disciplinary committee. They would explain to you that is the way a teacher. I'm a teacher, Bishop. That's the way. Let me finish. That's the way a teacher is brought up. To explain, a good parent explain to the child. My daddy said, "You can't do this. Where did you go yesterday? Did you ask permission? You came 4 a.m. You are reeking of cigarettes and booze. So you are explained. You are told that this is what the problem is, and that is why I am doing that. Any good teacher in any responsible atmosphere will let you know. And most of the time, we know why we are being caned without even being told. A child knows that I'm being caned because of this.
Okay, so let me ask this question based on what you just raised. Danny, will it be okay if I can explain to a student why he's being caned, and after he's been caned, he's spoken to and told, we caned you because you did so and so, so don't do it again? Would that be okay with you as a psychologist?
See, that would have been better.
Would that be okay with you?
Yes, yes, but you see, there's still a certain component missing, right? Punishment in itself does not really tell the individual the right behavior to do.
Okay.
It only tells the individual that what you did was wrong.
Okay, so let me ask this other question then. Is fear a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, fear can be good in a way. One way or the other, it can be good.
So if you are caned and
So-
you go through the pain of it, or the embarrassment, as you would like to put it, of it, because some students will tease you with it and all that. If that fear is on the mind of a student, then listen, I'll be caned and I'll get the pain and get the embarrassment maybe in front of the students, and therefore because of that fear I will not misconduct myself. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Because
Okay.
I'm asking this again
So-
in the same regard that
so-
in
so
the
you
schools
see-
of today, let me just add this. In our schools now, students know that no corporal punishment. Listen, I will not weed, I will not kneel, I will not be caned, I will not be this, I will not be that. So
Now,
what,
what is this? Why Bana?
so what's it?
Oh, sure, I don't call you a fool.
So what is it?
So
So,
you see-
so that's what my concern is. Isn't that a fear that will make the person do the right things?
David, listen.
No,
These
let,
people
Bishop,
who are brought
let
up,
him land.
They write all these things and bring it to us.
Bishop, let him land.
So you see, our listeners are listening to us, and I'm not even getting the space to really
Go ahead.
explain
Okay,
these
go ahead.
things, because you see,
I'll give you all the space. I want-
please give me the space.
Because I mean, some of the things are so incredulous. I'm wondering
So you see,
what is happening.
Bishop, you are lying.
Bishop,
Yeah, go ahead.
let me say something. You see, the idea that is being proposed or being used by GES in our education system, it's not necessarily meant to to tie the hands of educators in their work. No, it's actually meant to increase the productivity
They tell you
of these.
they will tell you to tie their hands, but go ahead.
Yes, they will say that because they are saying that because they do not have any other means.
Alternatives.
Yes, they don't have the
What are the
alternatives.
alternatives
So
then?
the alternatives are there. You
What are
see, one of the alternatives, or the broader alternative, is what we call positive discipline. Right now, the idea of positive discipline, it's just that the work in there seems to be much for a lot of educators when you explain it to them or when you expose it to them.
Please explain it.
Okay, so positive discipline looks at the wrong, right? The wrong that a child has done, presents the wrong in itself, the analysis of the wrong itself, the genesis of it, or the influences to doing that wrong, and then the right way, or pointing out the other alternative, the correct alternative for the child to actually do.
I want examples.
So let me give you an example. Like the example that Bishop used. I said
which one?
Bishop has given so many examples. I could just go the whole day picking the examples he brings. The first one is that he said,
Alternatives.
if you smoke weed in school, if you smoke weed in secondary school, and you are beaten, it's supposed to correct that particular problem. It will not.
But it does.
No, it doesn't.
For some people, it does.
No,
For other
that's-
people.
see,
Go on. So what
see,
is
you
the
see-
alternative? What would be
you
the
see,
alternative?
The
You can
alternative,
smoke your weed outside if you want it, but not.
What is the alternative?
but then the problem was never solved.
And the parents will carry on.
Bishop, so what is the alternative? If Kenny is not
me give you an alternative.
what's the alternative?
The alternative,
Yeah.
the alternative, right, would be to now expose the child or that individual, one way or the other, bring the explanation of the consequences of that weed smoking to them, bring it down to them for them to actually appreciate
Consequences such as what? Getting mad? Or what? I'm asking a question actually.
it having a particular link with mental.
get you.
Yes, and for them to really see it.
Hold, pause there. Leo, so there's this guy who you said when you were growing up with, the mother told him that he's a womanizer
Yeah.
and she stopped. The mother spoke to the conscience and the mind of this young boy. What was the response he gave?
Ɔsɛ yɛntumi ma aboa ketekete wei ngye ayi ne mmɔ so.
What does that mean?
He's a womanizer.
Okay.
So he's going for women.
Okay.
And this is the response. Oh, my Abwakete. So the virus.
So, like if you
Oh,
The virus will not tell him
Yeah.
exactly the point.
So yeah, ma Abwakete
So when you speak to the mind of the child and tell the, if you tell the child that listen, you get
Okay,
insane.
David, let me-
insanity out of smoking weed. Do you think it is going to work?
Okay.
Let me tell you, my son. He used to love, you know him,
Video games.
Caleb, video games.
Okay.
Spend hours. He's very good at it. Football. So I said, why are you always at this? You know, he says, would you rather that I went to the discotheque or to sit somewhere to get
Okay.
more drunk?
Okay.
And that was a beautiful question for me. So I said, I hold my peace.
Play your video games.
Play your video games. But then remember that if you have other things to do, you could do it. Now, I'm just trying to say something about what he's saying, which is not bringing out well. But the point of the matter is that, are you going to spend, who is going to get time in a school?
You have to get time.
Hold on. Is he not going to go to lectures?
but
is he
again-
not going to
No,
go to
Bishop,
Bishop, and allow me to ask this question. What will be wrong? And I'm not justifying caning, or I'm not, saying it's bad. All right. But what I'm asking is, what will be wrong when you inflict that little pain, 6 lashes? Haven't done that, then you explain to the child, these are the consequences of weed smoking. These are the consequences of jumping school or being truant.
Now here's
These are
discipline and then a correction.
You
That's
see,
what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
You see, Bishop is equating the caning and putting it and making it
in
like
its right context. In its right context.
no. You are making that mean to be the broader umbrella of discipline. There are so many other forms of discipline that does not include caning.
I asked you to
There's
give
so
me-
many of
I
them.
asked you to give me
But-
an answer.
but-
Give me
but-
only one and
but
say
the-
speak
but
to
the-
them about the dangers of what they're doing.
So, by the
Give me
example,
other
by the
examples.
example that you just give, or the
This
scenario that
Gen
you
Z
just give,
generation.
you cane someone. Oh my God. You cane someone,
Yeah.
and then you sit the person down, and then you talk to the person about that particular action that they took, that the wrong that it is, and they could have done it this way, and there are evidence there. Those that did it the way that you are proposing, the outcome is there for them to see, right? In your mind, you think that it was a caning that has corrected that particular individual, but it is not. It is that talk that you added to it. That the main ingredient that changed the behavior was
Were
the
you
talk.
caned when you were growing up?
I was.
Did it kill you?
Let me give you my
Please
personal
answer the
experience.
question.
Did it kill you?
Yes.
Did it kill you?
So I'm giving you my personal
Hold on.
experience.
Did it kill you?
My personal experience was
Hold on for me. Did it kill you?
it did not kill me.
Did it change your life in a positive way?
No.
It did not.
No.
Now let me hear the story.
No, you want to hear the story now. Now, every time that a child is caned, what the child equates the caning to, or the pain that they equate to, they can equate it to the individual that actually meted out that caning.
No. If you explain it, they will equate it to, I shouldn't go into fire. I shouldn't touch electricity. I shouldn't insult somebody. They will know that insulting somebody produces a cane, and not necessarily the person.
Or corporal punishment, which of course would be kneeling down, facing the wall, or many other form of corporal punishment. So you were caned.
I don't subscribe to carrying blocks. And,
But people do. Some teachers do that.
I know.
I have an example. When I was in primary school, I don't know if I can mention the school's name. Cambridge International. Almost sheer pa. That school, if you are late in the morning, you'll be stripped. Early morning dictation. you'll be
Excesses
stripped.
or reasonably done.
It was
Mixed,
mixed,
right?
you
It was
know.
mixed. Okay.
After dictation, it will be the mental by Mr. Forgot the name.
Don't mention his name.
Yeah,
Please go on.
you'll be stripped. Because of that, anytime I'm going to school, school pass me see Kim. Then I am thinking about how to avoid those 3 steps
Okay.
before we
The
go
spelling-
for
the spelling bee,
the dictation.
the dictation.
And the not being late.
Did it destroy
The
you?
mental.
It didn't destroy me. Actually, that was when I started seeing good grades.
Oh,
In you.
In me,
Because
I'm
you-
not-
you were not
though-
you were not
even
steady,
though- yes,
so you will not be whipped.
yeah, even though I do not condone to corporal
So a bit of
punishment.
fear, the fear
But
factor
that-
in there,
But
made him steady.
Are you saying that the only way to instill fear in someone is to actually apply corporal punishment?
No. That's why I said.
See, that's
you
the
explain.
thing. That's the thing.
Nobody is saying that, but you have not been able to give us.
In my days at school, sorry.
Please go ahead.
When I was in preparatory school, if you spoke vernacular, Chi, Gan, whatever, they had made this
placard, yeah.
And you have to wear it for a
words
week.
for like 2 days or 3 days. Okay. Would you say that it was wrong or bad or good? Don't look in the skies, Danny. Talk to me.
You see, Well, it is good.
It is good.
It is good.
Do you know the humiliation many people went through?
No,
having that around your neck, going through the school compound.
You know what?
When it's time for a break, knowing that people will see that thing around your neck. Oh my God.
Right.
You understand? So that was another form
It can make you
of correcting
feel-
people. So for me, I wanted to avoid it so badly that I never spoke Ghana or Twi or any local language
In school.
In that same vein, I would support Bishop here. Reasonable amount of cane, if done right.
There is no way. There is no way the
you were-
reasonable amount of caning that all of you are purporting.
Look.
There's no way you can measure it.
Look, I have
Yes,
talked before.
reasonably.
There is no
do,
way.
you- do you know you can cane with love? Do you know you can cane somebody with
No,
love?
there is nothing like
So
that.
when your child is going near
There-
fire,
there-
then indulge me. Your child is going close to fire. Can you just punk in the search?
You see, it is only the
But
one that
Abrafuna
is
Kofa
no. You
says
see,
we are Banam
the
Baby
only you see the only
And
the
I
only way.
LGBT on top of
Oh,
it.
bro,
And then
I am
I'm not saying you.
I am
I'm
100% against LGBT.
No, I'm only saying
Right.
that a lot of the studies that have come our way have not come from psychologists from here. Even the books you read.
Yes.
But from people like
but
Sigmund
but
Freud
nowadays,
and all those things.
So you see, Bishop.
me a book written
Bishop,
by a
oh,
Ghanaian.
Bishop. Nowadays, we have so much psychological literature that is written purely by Africans and within the African setting.
Please send me.
There's a lot of it.
All right, so
there's a lot of it.
guys, allow me to do my job. So at the end of the month, when I'm taking my pay, I know I work for
And
it.
I know you bring me some, so you don't want to.
But Bishop,
Yeah.
do you know that there are occasions too where somebody has been caned?
Yeah.
Caned so much, so often, so badly that the child is so used to the caning. All he will say is this: "My you bominamin kwe."
I'll packing a crack.
I mean, so the child
That is why I said
Uh-huh.
there's a percentage of people. More people get corrected as a result of the caning. And remember, punishment, for example, like weeding. I can't even imagine why they even added weeding to the whole thing. Because if somebody does something wrong, I never knew how to weed when I was in secondary school. Because I came from a certain background, gardener. I didn't weed. I didn't go to the farm. But when I went to school, and I did something wrong one day, and they said, the man will just go this and this.
Go and read.
And I was with some other guys. And then they said, Charlie, Yenese.
Yeah, it happened to me too.
You see?
Then
So
you know-
that- hold on.
But
So I began
Bishop,
to-
you haven't answered my question.
I will
But
come
you
to
see-
it. So I began to enjoy
Reading.
Oh God! You
now-
see, and that's what becomes
I learned
gardening.
how to read.
how to weed.
But
at
you see-
least. And then because I didn't want weeding to destroy my time for classroom, I would not go back to do.
How can you enjoy something and at the same time say that you wanted to avoid it?
No, because
Initially,
But you see,
because
the problem.
you're learning times.
You're learning time.
Our times
But
for
you
you
see,
to play with
the
friends. and stuff.
problem is that why you explain the problem is that you start enjoying the particular application of a certain kind of corporal punishment, then you seem to lose track of exactly what you did.
no, I didn't.
But Bishop, my question:
Yeah.
there are some people who are so okay with the caning
No, I
that
agree with
they will
that.
say, "Let me
They
do
are
the wrong.
so
I'll be
okay.
caned
No,
anyway." And then
you know what?
life
I'll
goes
give you a
on.
very fun example. We had this guy in one of our houses in Addis Ababa. The guy was a heavy smoker, and he would spend time even during in the dormitory. When everybody is there siesta, he does the masters. You put on incense and then he'll be smoking. He was so bad. So one day, unfortunately, the housemaster came around, and his father was very influential. And then smoke. So he went there and saw him. I can't mention his name because he's a big chief in Takrady, and he became a Christian later.
Yes.
So he goes, "Oh, inside Osimesi, Abaziya, Edru from 5. Say, yeah, you will decry. What life will say? Into Masro, a pedal no musigreta. Cause your toilet. None. And we wear exams. Mamba habium. So this is an example, but this doesn't go to say that everybody did the same thing. There are a percentage of people who become very hardened. Then I would agree with the psychologist. Go into the background of these people, whether it's from a broken home, whether it's the mom, whether it's the father inflicting some
Abuse
kind
in
of
the home.
abuse.
Because we're different kinds of temperaments of people.
You see,
there are people when you look at them when they do it wrong, when you just stare at them, they will not repeat that wrong again.
Yes.
There are others when you shout at them, when you speak harshly, roughly, embarrassingly, then they learn.
someone you want
there are
to-
others you just want, but others you have to use a cane.
The others that
What will you
you
attribute the current situation we find ourselves in, where there's almost total breakdown of discipline
in our schools.
in our schools, and of course
Especially
in our society and everything?
the
Where will place
You
the blame?
see, there is something that doesn't add up.
Something that doesn't happen.
Yes.
What is that thing?
See, what we were exposed to, all of us, what we were exposed to when we were schooling is very different from what these kids are exposed to right now. The teachers are not totally in control of what the kids are exposed to. So if you bring the corporal punishment in, society changes as the years go by. And there are so many things that children get.
I beg, do we have a duty to protect our nation?
Yes,
and
we
our
have.
children?
We have. We
So
have.
the influx of certain information.
Bishop,
coming into our
something.
system.
You know something. Very, very far off in the past,
Yeah.
the educational system in Africa did not have corporal punishment in it, and it was very successful. No, the thing is that, Bishop, that is true. You see,
For what level?
for every level,
Or you can't cane a university student. Definitely not.
No, you can't cane a university student, but you can't also cane a kindergarten student.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can't.
But you can cane somebody in JHS.
Primary
What
upwards.
is the justification then? Why is it that we will say that we will not cane a university student?
As an
Because
education, it's the formative time.
it is the
You see,
formative time.
From the age of about
The interesting thing is that those formative, the dynamics within the formation times, teachers have neglected that one. Especially teachers that love to apply corporal punishment. They've neglected the dynamics within the formative time. If you are paying attention to that, then you will find so many other ways of correcting a child who is getting themselves involved in a particular undesirable behavior. Now, if you know, like for instance, if a child is within the teens, they have this imaginary audience phenomenon.
some of them.
All of them. Bishop, you had it.
No, I don't remember.
You see, right now, whatever that you wear, if you think by yourself that this what I'm wearing is fine, and I'll go out and then I'll do whatever I have to do, you don't mind what somebody else would say, right? But a child who is in his teens minds what others will say,
Bishop, before we
and it
activate
is
the
so
phone
hard. It is so hard. It's so impactful that it would influence the way they would act, and that is the reason why, if a child is in school and that school, other kids are doing something, they would force you, even the parent, to allow them to do the same.
But Daniel,
Right?
let me come in here. We'll be activating the phone. In fact, let's activate the phone lines right now on 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. Are you for corporal punishment or against corporal punishment, and why? But Bishop, per the conversation, are you also saying, I'm just asking a question, are you saying that it is not possible to raise a child well without using corporal punishment?
No, I never said that.
I'm asking,
Let me finish.
That's why I said it's a question.
I never said that.
Bishop was trained twice.
Danny, hold on. That is why I said it's a question.
Most of the time I was spoken to. I'm saying that
Yeah.
we cannot completely negate, I said, disciplining with weeding or the cane. We cannot and we should not completely negate those things. Now, I'm also saying that for me, it's a 60-40 thing. 60% talk to the child,
And 40%
40%
Corporal punishment.
sometimes. I don't like the word corporal punishment.
reasonable
Because
corporal
it's used, reasonable discipline.
Reasonable discipline.
Yes.
Let's go
So
to the phone.
that is the way I
Bishop,
see things.
Bishop, indulge me. I'll come back to you shortly. We have a caller on the line. We lost the first caller. Erasmus, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David.
All right, so Erasmus, let's hear your take on this. Corporal punishment. Are you for it or are you against it?
David, I am for that. The Bible even
Using some calls this morning. I don't know what the challenge is. Let me try. Christoph, good morning.
Yes, good morning, David. How are you, sir?
Chris, I am well. Let's hear you, sir.
Yes, David, you're asking whether we are for corporal punishment or we are against corporal punishment. David, with a Ghanaian child, when you take out that, see, the bishop is being economical about the truth. He's a man of God. So he can't say, oh, corporal punishment, oh, beat them. No. But he will say that let's appeal to the conscience of the child. But David, with a Ghanaian child, David, with a Ghanaian child, if we do away with the king, David, you will not have good future leaders. David, we are sitting on a time bomb. David, do you know that now even when you advise this young one, what can a name what can a name know? So I don't know why you know. And yet, let me go for who crown child.
What you're saying is that you support corporal punishment. Thank you very much, Christoph. Do we have Kofi on the line? Hi, Kofi.
Yeah, Dave.
Corporal punishment, are you for it or against it, and why?
Look, Dave, sometimes people make comments and you sit down, you listen to it, and you are like, you don't know the type of persons they are. Look, when people say that during their days in school they were caned, but the caning did not destroy them. What do they mean by they were not destroyed? I don't know. Look, when I was in school, I was a slow learner. So during mental, I found it difficult to rush. And so I would be caned every part of my body. And when I go home, I found it difficult to sleep or to sit on a chair. And you are saying this did not destroy you. The body will be swollen, and the next morning you find it difficult to wake up from bed.
So Bishop will give you a response because he says those are some of the excesses that we are condemning. Yeah. George, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm well. So, George, tell me, were you beating or do you beat your children?
Of course, David. It's not beating. You see, you use the cane to threaten the child, to discipline the child, not to wound the child. David, where came from this, law that we shouldn't, threaten our children with the cane? Where came from that law? We are sitting down for the Europeans to tell us what to do. So when you are sitting down and your child come from school that is now an homosexualist, it is the child's right.
I hear you. Thank you very much. Let's speak to is it Nana Kweku? Yeah. Nana Kweku's on the line now, but you can also call us on 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. All right, these are numbers you can call us on right now. We're talking about corporal punishment, killing the child, making the child do masoe, they maintain some, that kind of things, those kind of things. All right, and I spoke some pitching there. Forgive me. Are you for it or you against it, and why? Call us now. But we have Nana Kweku on the line. Nana, let's hear you.
Hello.
Hi.
The word corporal is what I'm against. What we should say is some sort of discipline is what is needed. But once you add the word corporal, that is what puts the whole punishment and negates it. Because, no, for trauma one time, look, what are people saying? For my kids, I will discipline them. I will strip them when they go wrong, and no one can come to my house. Because at the end of the day, what if my child grows? He's going to bear the fruit of what I have instilled in him. So that's saying that the people are saying corporal punishment, overweighting. And that's the reason why we have our kids, they don't want to go into farming now. Because back in the days, at sixth form, in the case, we were reading. And when we read, you learn sense. It didn't destroy our lives.
Yeah, I hear you, Nana Kweku. He says he will whip his kids. The interesting thing about this whole corporal punishment that the GS has talked about, he have not even taken it to Parliament for us to, amend the law. So that's what it is. Erasmus is back on the line. Erasmus, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David. Yeah, David, I said I am for corporal punishment. When you take or when you go to the Bible, we say, spare not the rod and spoil the child. There is a game who says, Jimmy Ebata Akwada Akomahu. Yet, bar in the beauty film. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I taught this girl that whenever you are coming to the bedroom, you have to knock. And she tried the first time. She didn't knock, but I have to correct her by giving her. Since then, anytime she's coming, she will knock. Look at the kind of truth in Ghana. Look at the level of indiscipline in Ghana. Go down to the background and you realize that these people are coming from homes and schools where they were not punished. And I'm surprised the psychologists are talking about these things. Look at the level of indiscipline. And it is as a result of the neglection of the kids.
I can hear a child cry there. Let me allow you to end here before you say the child is disturbing you and then you start giving the child some lashes. I'm just kidding, Erasmus. Thanks for calling. Our final caller is in Isaac. Hi, Isaac. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
You're far away from the mouthpiece of your phone. I can hardly hear you, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's faint. All right, so we have a caller on the line. He's going to be, or she's going to be our final caller. Hi, good morning. Well, let's move on to our WhatsApp console now. What are people saying there? Leo Stanley is manning that bit, and he's going to share them with us.
Good morning, Mr. David. I hope by God's grace you people are doing well. You know.
Good morning, Dave. That is Isaac. You see, the Bible said, Jimmy Bata Bofrakom Akuma have you become wiser than the Bible? The foreign culture that you are trying to infiltrate in our system, what has it done? And we'll be what crowd about so the back and better to know because about a young crowd, young to two it will be too much to the class. They were shooting the paper, okay, Dave. You are going to talk to this student to what? To do what? Now, crowd time. Maybe the teacher in your studio is teaching angel student, but what tried here that? Me, I've told before. Sometimes I don't need to even apply the case, but so the child will be shaping line. I crowd already 6 years. Dave. So the point is that we must. I mean, what other punishment will be punitive enough? Okay, I didn't say political water, but it's what we know best doing is to talk. What has it achieved? Okay, so Dave, we should ensure that we are putting a Leo, ask him, as Antibai, we need a phobia of Ata, Dave, Leo, and CID. They will not see stop on.
Yeah, hello, Dave. Good morning. Yeah, this is Isaac. For me, I think that corporal punishment in schools must be reinstated because I've been to some of the secondary schools, and then when you get there, the kind of life that the students live, it's very serious. You are unable to distinguish between the students and then the teacher. The only difference between the student and the teacher is the fact that the students wear uniform and the teachers do not wear uniform. That's the only difference. And I think that majority of all these indiscipline and all that is as a result of the corporal punishment that has been somewhat abolished in our schools. So I think that it's because all of us went through it, and majority of us we one way or the other changed from our bad ways and all that. So I think it's important it's reinstated. Thank you.
Well, I'm sure that if we should decide to ask this question the next time, were you punished, or let's say under corporal punishment? Was it a good one for you, a bad one for you? Has it shaped you or has it unshaped you? You see the testimonies that people will share.
Yeah,
but let's take a listen to this other voice.
People will say very negative things.
And a lot will say very positive things.
Very positive things, yeah.
Dave, one thing is that those who are proposing for no corporal punishment in school, they are using Western literature to apply to African culture. They don't know the nature of the African. You see, the African has a different makeup than the European. Caucasians have conscience that prick them very hard. That even if they do something and nobody catches them, they can come out and then confess. But the nature of the black man is not like that. Even when you have caught him, he will be defended. That is why our ancestors were using severe punishment to maintain things in the system, because you cannot. If the idea is that you want to maintain sanity, so if we will punish you severely to become a deterrent for others, then it is good. But if you are saying that people will change, so let it be easy, it will not change.
And for people who are making the analogy, that we should use corporal punishment, like Bishop said, reasonably, I would support that. But when they put in that clause where the black man, in that same regard, some black men will come and say, beat your wives because your wives are so because the black woman is so.
David, I said in the beginning, our psyche or psychology must be based on our nation, our traditions,
our context,
practices, within our context. Now, I am totally against. I am not racist. Neither am I nepotic. When they have written all these books, and then we have to go to university to learn what they have written, not within our context, but within their context. Look, they had to bring all these things. Look at the amount of children who are being brutalized overseas. People are being killed overseas. So they had to come to a place where they start putting checks and balances. But we had very little incidents of somebody.
No, we don't. Bishop.
No. It's only in recent times because
that's what I mean.
We've allowed some things to infiltrate our system.
Those
we've
things,
allowed things. Look, in Ghana, you rarely heard of child murder, wife murder, but in recent times, because of so-called modernity and crimes that are being
But
committed.
the modernity is coming from somewhere, isn't it?
Yes, but we can control our modernity. Look, do you know that they will never go to Saudi Arabia and tell them bring LGBTQ?
Oh, that one.
Why don't they go to China?
Oh, but they
say China bring LGBT.
But we are not going to accept it.
Why can't they go to Russia?
You see,
this is the hypocrisy of
Bishop. The thing is that
I would like to end with this message from Erastus. He says, kids are not the same. Even with your family, all children are not the same. There are those who respond to reasoning. There are those who respond to a little slap on the hand. And there are those who are naturally inquisitive and will need guidance. You don't lump all of them together and cane them for lateness, for example. But what is the evidence that caning is what has done the trick for us as a country?
Exactly.
Looking at the level of stealing and corruption among those who benefited from the skilled corporal punishment.
Bishop,
let me say this.
Erastus, we are the evidence.
It's like myself, my mom.
Bishop is not the evidence.
My mom at the
we
time.
are the evidence.
When I was younger.
A group of people are the evidence. Those behind us
We are not.
who went to secondary schools and not SHS. And
it
the evidence
is the good
of the
advice
effect.
that we receive that is
Danny, that is why I told you.
evidence.
That's why I told you a while ago that some the advice will work on them. Some just staring at them will work.
But David, before you end it, David, before you end it, you see, Bishop was talking so much about whether there's research that has been done within our setting. There's so much research that has been done within our setting.
Recently.
No.
And are we applying them?
The thing is
that why we have abandoned the caning or the corporal punishment in school?
What are we finding out?
What would we attribute to the worsening?
What would we talk about the research?
What would we attribute to the worsening indisciplinary behaviors of students on our various
So listen, right now, our generation is said to be the ones that we are bringing out, this particular generation, and we are saying that there's a problem, isn't it? Good. Now, research has shown that those within our generation that apply corporal punishment are those that received corporal punishment when they were growing up. There's a big, in fact, a very significant correlation between the two. That somebody who receives any form of abuse, right? Any form of abuse when they are younger, they are so much highly probable that they would apply the same kind of
two things. Look, there are two things that would happen.
There's a very thin line between corporal punishment and abuse.
Let's come to
very thin line.
Let's come to your psychology. People either react opposite to the way they were treated, or for the way they were treated. So don't just
and again, if you listen to most of the callers that came through, plus most of the voice notes we played,
you remember
majority are in support of corporal punishment. The only challenge is reasonableness. Do it.
But you remember when we started, I said that punishment predicts behavior unpredictably. You remember I said that.
You did, but again, I remember that when we began the conversation, I asked you to give me examples as to how we can correct children, alternatives, forms of punishment.
Yes.
You talk about reasoning, and you'll be in a reasoning before. Well, thank you very much for listening into Love in the Morning today. Coming up shortly on the Super Morning Show will be the state of the Saglemi housing project. The state the housing project is in. But before we bring that to you on the Super Morning Show, what is your preferred color of tank? Syntex has it. What guarantee do you want? Well, Syntex has it. What kind of inner layer do you want? Are you looking for double, triple, quadruple? Well, as many inner layers as you want, Syntex has it too. So remember, no matter your water needs, Syntex has it. Syntex tank, a strong, a tough. Now remember, they have over 300 agents nationwide. All you need to do is just call 0244 335 168. Visit Syntex on social media at Syntex Ghana, or you can shop online on www.syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, like I said, a strong, a tough. Let's talk about Zest Consult. Listen, have you been searching for the best place for your IELTS, your SAT and GRE tuition to make your study scholarship and job acquisition abroad come true? Then look no further. Zest Consult is the number one place for you. Zest Consult has taught over 5,000 individuals to pass their IELTS, their SAT and GRE. Also, over 3,000 nurses, midwives, and other workers have passed their IELTS through them to work in the UK and USA. Some have also used their IELTS to also apply for schools outside the country. A number of students have also acquired scholarships through Zest Consult to study abroad for their undergraduate and postgraduate programs through the SAT and GRE tuition. Listen, they can help you study in the UK, USA, Germany, Australia, China, and other places, and also do so under scholarship. That is not all they are into, because Zest Consult also is into real estate services, as they assist in the selling or buying of buildings and litigation freelance. You can find Zest Consult at Kumasi Cultural Center. That's one of the offices. You can find them there. Also, you can find them at Dichemso near the Kumasi Airport roundabout. Call Zest Consult on 0555 631 633 or 050 9092 Zest Consult, excellence is their hallmark. We have some more messages for you, and then we'll cross over to Joy 99.74, the Super Morning Show, where we talk about the state of the Saglami housing project.
Eji, mensa ye titiri na ayame yaka ho. Doctor say me BP ni me sugar nyina kwosoro.
De wuhia ne Amuzu garlic bitters.
Amuzu garlic bitters.
Ane Amuzu garlic bitters. Ewo herbal shop bia.
Yes, DBS Industries has done it again. We have taken the lead by introducing the newest Colorlink Plus roofing sheets. It comes with 20-year warranty against fading.
Hold on a second. Did you say 20-year warranty against fading?
Yes. In addition, it has self-clean properties, meaning it has the ability to clean dirt that settles on it, making your roof look beautiful at all times.
This DBS offer is super cool.
Get your Colorlink Plus roofing sheet for your roof today. Look out for Colorlink imprint on our sheets. Locate DBS Limited in Kumasi on the Kumasi Accra Road at Adakwajachi opposite Kwamo Guel filling station. Call our hotline on 050 600 4141 or 0543 286 637. Visit our other factories in Accra, Tamale and Takrady. DBS Industries, your roof experts.
So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace.
My name is Diana Hamilton, VGMA Artist of the Year 2021 and brand ambassador of Awake Purified Drinking Water. I am super excited to partner with Ghana's first charity-driven water to give back to our communities. Awake is a brand that makes a difference. We impact the world around us. That is why for every bottle of Awake water you buy, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. Yes, every time you quench your thirst with a refreshing bottle of Awake, you're helping contribute to save lives. So keep drinking Awake Purified Drinking Water and let's continue making a difference. Awake Water, one for life, supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA approved.
Makion Restaurant, continental and local dishes. Biryani Papa Fie, Kupeti Abonsa. Makion Restaurant, continental and local dishes. Biryani Papa Fie.
Makion Catering Services. Ye nimu fritete. Eduane pa ema hode. Wedidi ewie no na wonum so da ho. Na die kumi kura ne se ebo no da fo. Makion Hotel. Nsubama obibiada. Amo wonya hoto. Fully air conditioned. Free Wi-Fi. And a conference hall with modern gadgets. Umpewe na upedie. Makion Restaurant. Nsubecha door-to-door services. Sheshe Makion Services. Ewo Kumasi Asukwa. Anase Audio. Makion ni. Na ufun suni. Fre omu awa matrofo iso. 0322-496-249. Anase 0244-417-446. Makion Services. 7 is what we are. Ubedia Bonsano. Ubedia Bonsano.
You provide the fire.
Daily focus on your superstation Love 99.5 FM is giving you an opportunity to start your day right with anointed men of God. Tune in daily at 5:15 a.m. and be blessed. Be edified with Joel Osteen on Monday.
Just because it seems like God is too late doesn't mean that He's not going to come through. Don't be impatient for Him to act. Keep believing, keep praying, and every blessing that belongs to you will show up.
Receive the word with Reverend Eric Ajay Bediako of New Life City Chapel, Buokro.